Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation call for Saturday, July 26, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position, no outside distraction, relaxed into your body, still as a statue and focused on your breath, rising and falling. We talked about the challenges that we have with the bodies when we come into this environment, and the programming and how things are perceived and how we don't think about a lot of things. And when you're a baby, you don't experience stress and anxiety and stuff, because you're an open book. You haven't been programmed yet. When we become programmed, stress is automatic. Every tomorrow has two handles. We can take hold of it with the handle of anxiety or the handle of faith and reward beacher. And this is what we're all striving for anyway. I believe that this is one of the key factors, is we don't care to have that. And many people don't know what to do to alleviate it, so they use artificial stuff. But it's the path of the meditation, moving in to the now and staying there as much as possible. Deep gratitude 24/7 and being gentle with yourself at all times. So to move out of that, see, we're kind of in a reverse, quite frankly, okay? We've been computed as physical material life, okay? So that's what we do. We live physical material life and all the stuff that goes with it. And a lot of times we don't know the stuff that's there, as we just go through life, and there it is. And the factor is that we're in the wrong place, is the best way to put it. We should be in heart-mindedness, knowing that we are omnipotently powerful supreme beings in these bodies that never die, and operate from that direction rather than the material physical, believing that that's all there is. And a lot of people believe that's all there is in the material physical life. And nothing wrong with it. It's not a negative. But you can see how it molds and directs and how things operate when we're in material physical life. Now, when you're in heart-mindedness and you're coming from the God that you are in the now, the material physical life is there. Sure, you're in the body, but your whole perspective is totally different. You're not, let's put it this way, you're not in a situation of high stress, anxiety frequencies that most of us immerse ourselves in without knowing about it. You're coming from a bliss, joy, happiness, peace. You're coming from a powerful position of manifesting and knowing you're manifesting. You can manifest anything. See how it's switched? It's in reverse. Being in heart, mind, and in the body is a whole different ballgame than being in the body and in ego mind. Totally different. There's no comparison. And the only way we can do that is through meditation and mastering the ego mind. Leaving it alone and mastering it. Watching it, learning. And we kind of know on the surface what the ego mind's about. And that's how we play it. But we also know that the ego mind was created as an illusion so that it teaches us it does teach us to move in to spirit, to in the now with the God, with the Creator, and not out here, out there. And that's how we operate, most of us on this planet. We operate out there. And it is a challenge because so many people have been taught so many different ways. And to perceive it, in most cases, overwhelming for people once they start to crack open the truth and they realize that, holy cow. And so we live in reverse. We live in yesterday and tomorrow with the ego mind guiding us and directing us. That's how it's been laid out, and it isn't the way. The way is in now, in heart mind, discovering the God that you are within that body, within the soul, and living that life in the body. So your whole perspective has changed. You end up mastering the ego mind, you end up mastering your thoughts. Easier said than done because we're so habitualized in ego mind. But that's the way. See? As Lao Tzu put it, that's the way. The way is the Tao. The way. Tao means way. And living in peace, harmony, and contentment is our natural state of being. It is not the state of being that's been designed, that we have been pigeonholed in. That is not our natural state of being. Living in ego mind and having it direct and control us each lifetime is not our natural state of being. Our natural state of being is being in ego, is being in heart-mindedness, in the now, moment to moment, in deep gratitude for all things. And you're in the body, yeah, but you're also, you know you're the God. And you know that you can direct the body and you can heal the body and you can do a lot of different things from that perspective, from that position, rather than the position all of us are in, which is ego mind. And so it leaves us, there's a lot of void there on us knowing how to maneuver this life. And we're constantly things are being shown to us on a continual basis. It's a conditioning. And what does it do? It does keep us away from our natural state of being, which is living in the now, meditate every day, be in the silence, spend time alone, deeply, eternally love yourself, accept all parts of yourself, good, bad, and ugly, or indifferent, and make peace with yourself across the board. And you constantly surrender with yourself on a daily basis. It seems busy, right? But it really isn't. We would spend, if we spent more of our direction and attention on that rather than all the other stuff, most of it's meaningless, and it draws us away through an illusion from ourselves. And this is how we get. Now, do we know it? Not really. I don't believe that the majority of us don't know that. It's not like, I'm going to do this. It's just habit. Everybody else is doing it, right? It's how life is. And as you all know, that we're being taught every generation by other people's thoughts. So if you look at the society, the human psyche of this planet, you see that it is pretty much, as I have stated before, it is a repetitive process. It isn't advancing and growing and expanding. Do you ever notice it stays the same way? It stays that same way over and over again. So we end up repeating things, conflicts and disagreements and angers and confusions, and this is why what happens is that when you start to move to your natural state of being, peace, gentleness, kindness with yourself and everything around you, then you begin to realize that this feels really good. This almost feels like this is what I'm supposed to, where I'm supposed to be. And you'll pick up on it on the vibrational frequency. And by doing that, the ego mind starts to drop away. And it begins to realize that it can find peace, and it is part of the God. It doesn't know that. It thinks it's separate. So, we look at that and we say, hey, there's something to this. It's not a whim. It's not a passing thought. It's where we truly are in our natural state of being, which most of us are not in our natural state of being. We might visit it on occasion or briefly, but we're not in it. We're not in a natural state of being. We're in this uneasy state of being. You ever notice? It's an uneasy state of being. And when we view things, we see all this stuff, and we see the lies and the deceit, and we see manipulation, and we see dishonesty, and all this stuff. And we know right away, this is not where I choose to be. I know about it, I've experienced it, but it's not where I choose to be. I choose to be with the God that I am, that is within this body, so to speak. And that's where I choose to be. And then you take that practice and you go. And you know, being in the now is a much different experience than being in yesterday and tomorrow. Being in the now, we don't suffer. Being in yesterday, tomorrow, we suffer. It's an inevitability. You live in yesterday and tomorrow, you're going to suffer. You live in the now, suffering doesn't exist. You see, it's a big difference. Okay? You live in yesterday and tomorrow, you're going to live in stress. Period. You live in the now, there's no stress. Because, see, we're looking at it in a whole different light. We're not really the body. The body is our vessel that allows us to direct and guide through life, not the ego mind. Ego mind's there to teach us to not use it. That's what the ego mind's there to do. It doesn't really know that, but that's what it's for. And then what we do is we pick up on it. We're not in judgment. We're in a watching and a viewing as things progress. And then we turn around and we embrace that whole existence of peace, and prosperity, and bliss, kindness, gentleness, all of that. We embrace it. This is why we take to it so quickly once we have discovered it. And on this planet, that should be the only direction for this civilization to decide to go. Period. It's like for it to disintegrate, instead it flourishes and expands and it grows. Right now it's disintegrating, and we know why. What's the answer to that? We all know why it's disintegrating. And we also know the counter, the opposite of that. And we also know how to facilitate that with each and every one of us as we step into our natural state of being, which is the now, which is the moment to moment. Live moment to moment. You're tempted to live tomorrow. You're tempted to live a month from now. You're tempted to live a year from now. But you say to yourself, nope, the only thing that I have right now is today, right now, in this now moment. I do not have tomorrow. I don't have yesterday. I will have the now. See, and all of us are in that. All of us comprehend that. I think most of us do. That we only have the now. We don't have tomorrow. Tomorrow hasn't come. And we don't have yesterday because yesterday's gone. We only have the now. And this is a practice that should be, and this is why we do it so much in these meditations, where this is what we should be practicing, being in the now. This is why I've given out such a massive amount of information in the last several years on these meditations. So you would have a lot of avenues and a lot of areas that you can embrace. Some of it, not all of it, but maybe all of it. It just depends. where you're at, what you're looking at, how you're embracing things, and how you feel about you. Okay? And this is how they progress. This is how they operate. And it's really interesting, and it's fun and exciting. Because remember, we have a power inside. We're a power in these bodies. Extremely powerful being. Okay? We're the God source. So think about that. Being in the now and operating from the God source, you can do a lot of things that you can't do right now. The reason you can't do them is you just don't comprehend it. You don't know how to go about doing them. And your confidence, faith, and trust with all of us is challenged every day. It's challenged every day. It's what you focus on that you're going to create. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It's what you continually, explicitly focus on, not obsessively, but your focus is on a certain thing and you stick with that. You don't bend from it. You don't doubt it. You stick with it. And that's a miracle. Those are miracles. And that's why I say to people, believe in miracles. I've got an old sign. It's carved out of wood. I've had that sign. I've had it everywhere. Wherever I was, and even in a basement, I put it on the cement wall. Wherever I was. It was carved, and it says, believe in miracles. And it's glitter. It's all gold glitter. And so it always sparkles. And it's a reminder for me. Believe in miracles. Miracles, we're a miracle. All of us are miracles. And when we truly embrace the God source, the gods that we are, everything shifts. Everything changes. The reason it does is because now we've stepped into our natural state of being. You see? We're not uncomfortable anymore asking ourselves, questioning ourselves in material physical life. Okay? We no longer operate from that direction. We operate from the God source, and we're aware that we're using a body to experience material physical life, and we, the God that we are, is the guide, is the direction. Ego mind takes a back seat. And see, the ego mind finds peace. And it's in the back seat, right? Or the back of the theater. And then eventually it just fades out. And some people say, well, don't we need the ego mind? Yeah, we need it for this. But we don't need it after that. We move on to a highly spiritual, vibrational existence. Where hate and negativity and all that is gone. It's not there. Okay? And believe you me, every one of us have had many lifetimes experiencing all of that. Okay? Different ways, different shapes, different forms. But in a nutshell, the plain vanilla flavor is that we've experienced a lot being in physical material bodies. And in the whole process of this, when we begin to realize that we're the masters and commanders, as I've said numerous times, doesn't it make sense that you're guiding you through the God that you are in that body rather than being in a material physical body and having it guide you through the ego mind? Have the ego mind in that body guide you. Big difference. You can feel, just by me stating that, you can feel the shift in vibrational frequency. And it's not a race, okay? As we know, there's a lot of people on this planet that don't get it. That's fine. It's not negative. They'll just reincarnate and keep reincarnating until they get it. Okay? Arguing senselessly, conflicting. I mean, what you believe, and what you believe in, you create. Okay? Where energy flows, attention goes. And we create. We're creators. We're creators all the time. And when we're in the heart mind, the now, with the God source as our guide, because that's who we are, we're our own guide in the now. We call on the God. We commune with the God. We don't commune with somebody outside of us. We commune with the God. And we talk with the God, communicate, emotion, feeling. We're communicating with ourselves, the higher source, source creator, however you want to label it, pure light energy. And it gives us direction. We give ourselves direction through the gods that we are. And we can plug into the cosmic knowledge of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That comes later. But when we go through stages, I think all of you know that programming, that process, isn't for those that are aware that they are not the body, that they are a omnipotently powerful being in that body, in the soul. And they're driving the body, and they're experiencing things, and they're looking here and looking there. Difference. Okay. Ego mind is always want, always have, always get, never satisfied, very insecure, push, push, drive, drive, push, push, drive, drive, hurry, 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 for it to satisfy itself. The heart mind in the now is floating. You become so at ease that you float. You don't swim, you don't grip and grimace and crawl and pull. You just float. You're not looking into the future and making plans for this and this. You're just in the now. It's a whole different way to exist. Big time. Most of us are, you got to plan, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. Why? Right? You'll know what to do when you're there. In that moment, in the now. Period. So it's kind of, it's very valuable when you take hold of the handle of faith in yourself in these meditations and not be sideswiped or derailed. And watch the progression, and as you embrace it more and more, and I've shared so many things over and over again with people. Okay, how do you do it? Well, you spend time with yourself, you go out, you're alone, and you don't think. You stay away from thinking. That's where we get muddled. When we just start thinking, our mind and thoughts, everything going everywhere, every which way but loose. But that information is profound. And what we're doing is we're realizing the truth. And that will totally free us from the ego mind. We are not the mind, nor this body. We are this radiant, eternal light that cannot be dimmed in any way, any shape, or any form. Your true self continues to shine brightly through all of the adventures of being a human being that the mind may label as stressful. Whatever may cause your mind to feel stressed out, it's simply the mind being overly attached to a certain limited thought or form. And when we realize the truth of who we are, the mind has to let go automatically. And you are free. Period. Always practice quieting the mind. Celebrate what is now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but celebrate what is now. Period. Attachment to our past and future is what creates the greatest amount of stress in our life. And since the moment is the only thing that is real, choose to be constantly celebrating what is happening now. Now, if you experience a problem, celebrate it. That problem will soon be a deep, eternal loving in disguise. Life is actually not about overcoming our problems and karma. It is of all opposites until there is equanimity in the mind and complete balance of emotions, which leads us into total freedom of consciousness. Now, how could the mind know light without shadow, or depth without shallowness? See, that our minds exist in a state of perpetual ebb and flow of the tides. Celebration of this play is what makes us a master of our life. And whatever it is that's happening in your life right now, there is some way you can celebrate it. There is always another door opening where one has closed. Now is the moment that is filled with life's amazing qualities. And just realizing this little secret will assist you greatly in choosing to see the miraculous instead of the mundane wherever you are. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling. At the very beginning of your life, you were such a small, innocent baby. You were super fragile, extra sensitive. You had the most exquisite softness to your heart, mind, and skin. I invite you to get in touch with this fragile beginning of you. Talk to yourself today as if you were still this soft and sensitive inside. Feel the most gentle love that you can muster for this tiny, precious being still inside you. Cultivate what it is like to choose to be extra gentle with you, no matter what happens or doesn't happen today. It's the fastest way to heal all these traumatic memories from your past. The old pains will leave your body in the most easy and effortless way. And next time you stroll down the streets and supermarkets' aisles, your gentle inner smile will quietly open up the hearts and minds of everyone you see. Oh, how sweet your soul naturally is. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and following morning. We'll return here Sunday, July 27, 2025, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on out there or within you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.